I know Salito's a ride. This is why I fuck with what y'all say about this man. Salito, he a rider. Fuck what y'all say about Salito.
Oh my god.
Go off though, Salito. How you doing? Hey, Tiller. Oh, you done gained 2,000 followers with Tillers. What you been doing?
Oh, not this topic, girl.
Yes. So I just shared my story and how I was able to
Ooh.
come out. If y'all missed it, I'm gonna suggest that y'all watch the replay. Okay. So,
Hi,
hey, Salito.
Hi.
Hey, Attila.
Hey.
How you doing, boo?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm doing really good. So do you want to go first, Salito?
How are we doing? What's going on?
Oh,
hey, Al.
All the blessings.
Girl, please. Girl, so to the
I
fucking
can't really
comments.
speak too much on this topic.
Girl, okay, I'm a divert for a second. So tell me why, and don't say anything because it's real personal. So I'm only gonna tell y'all. So tell me why I was feeling some type of way, and I thought I would send Trade some spicy photos. Mm-hmm. So I went ahead and put some Nair in my putha. And I left it on for like 15 minutes because I'm like, it don't burn.
Yes,
like,
it will.
I'm like, is it working? And so tell me why I wipe it off and there's fucking blood.
No, like you got to be careful with Nair because Nair is a chemical.
Usually
to burn the hair follicles.
Usually I keep it on like 5 minutes, but this time it just wasn't burning for me. I was like, if it don't burn, it don't work. So I wipe it off. And there's blood, and then it start burning after, and I'm like, oh my god, like, oh my god. And now I'm taking the photos anyway, but my putha is just all red and shit. So I'm like, oh my god, do I even send these anymore?
Well, don't use it for a while, Alex.
I didn't use it for a while. I'm like, do I just wait till tomorrow? I did not do this for nothing.
You does too much.
So Alex, can I put that in the remake on YouTube?
Girl, at least
my god!
Record, Bill. I swear, if I see this shit on YouTube, I find a cease and desist, a DMCA, a crackdown, a SWAT team, a fucking ISIS, everybody.
I'm gonna make it educational.
No,
don't put Nair in your pussy.
Thank y'all for my recovery.
But that's crazy. But that's something, you know. So Nair is like a perm, right? Well,
it burns.
In this sense of a chemical, so leaving it onto it burns is not the way to go. Even with perm, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Cause the way, yeah, I put some little Vaseline up in that motherfucker, and so now I'm all like greased up.
Basically, it's just like a chemical. You're giving yourself like a chemical burn.
Yeah.
Basically,
right? And I thought like,
hey, Pootie. I'm sorry, Pootie. Here you go.
Beauty.
Hey, Pootie, the baddest.
Hi.
So let's get started on the topic of discussion, okay, guys? So Salito was up here first, so I'm gonna let him go first, unless he wants to skip. But you're up here first. So
long story short, I haven't done it yet. So moving on.
Okay. So So yes, Attila.
What?
You're coming out.
Not necessarily your story. If you want to share your story, that's fine. That's up to you. If you don't, you don't. But on the topics, so how do you feel about coming out? Is it safe to do in 2024?
Okay, well, I can talk about that a little bit. Then.
Well, Salito, you can't read, Salito.
Girl.
Well, you were blocking the whole fucking text.
Okay.
You know,
I don't even know what to say.
Y'all not finna do me. You said you had shared your story. So
I think that, as a gay child, growing up, you're very aware of your surroundings anyway. So I feel like you're going to be able to judge like whether your parents are going to be receptive or not. So I feel like, sometimes you're not. Sometimes there's been horror stories where people have come out and their parents have totally rejected them or kicked them out the house. And, homelessness in the gay community is very prevalent, especially amongst adolescents and teenagers and all that. So it's very tough. But, my coming out story, Girl, I came out gay out the womb, honey. I was just, honey.
Popped out that pussy and said, "Hey."
As soon as I, as soon as I burst out my mom's poussoir, I was just like, I'm here, girl. And, so
Oh my God.
it wasn't much of a shock in all seriousness, like to coming out to like my mom. But if my dad was still around, my dad died when I was 10.
Okay.
I don't think I would have been able to because my dad was very, very, heteronormative, I guess, just very. But like when my mom, I came out and I said I was bisexual first.
Yeah.
Because I was just scared of like her rejecting her son or like not completely understanding like, disappointing my mom and, not having a family or getting married and her dream of the concept of what was normal. But yeah, I had okay coming out experience,
Okay. So can I ask you this? Is there a certain, like, what age did you
like 15, like 15?
15. Is there a certain age like that you would say is I mean,
appropriate?
There is no right or wrong answer because it's based individually, but if you could give your own perspective or if you would,
I would say like 13 or 14 maybe, around that age.
Okay.
All right.
For me, I don't know, but
okay. Well, for me, unfortunately, my situation is like a little different. I'm 25, but I still have not been able to bring myself to talk about it with my family or like come out or just I haven't felt comfortable because like a lot of my family is very religious. I mean, but they're kind of like the Christians that like they say they're Christians, but like of course they like drink and curse real bad or whatever. But it's mostly my grandmother who like I love so much. She is like really the one that I'm like dreading. And it's just because like I do have that fear of like because I love my family. Like they get on my nerves, and I'm not saying that no one like doesn't love their family, whatever, if they're not afraid to come out. But like I don't know, it's just I'm not in a situation right now where I live on my own or like whatever. So like I'm not saying that she would ever kick me out, but like I don't know. I'm just very afraid of what she would have to say because I do love her and I respect her opinion like a lot. And like for lack of a better term or whatever, like I do believe in God and I do like I go to church and all that and everything like that. So like I'm still battling that within myself, I guess, because like of course they're gonna teach, that it's wrong and everything like that. But as far as I feel like I've known since I was like in kindergarten. I mean, as much as a kindergarten kid could know. I didn't like know exactly like what it was or anything, but like I just realized who I liked or whatever. But like I don't know, and a part of me feels like they know, and they're kind of like just waiting to see if I'm ever gonna say anything. But I just don't.
So not to dive too far deep in your personal, but I'm just curious. So with not being out like that, are you able to still date, or do you not even mention that? Is it just?
Bro, I don't date at all.
Okay.
Like it's bad. My great grandmother even like made a comment to me like I want to say 2 years ago for Mother's Day. She was like, "Oh, I guess you're never gonna get married and have kids because you're always too busy playing with everybody else's children." And I was like, "Oh my God."
Well. So let me give you. So I know everybody's family is not the same, but I felt like you, and I know exactly how you feel because my grandmother was the hardest one I had to tell. Right, I told my grandmother. My grandmother is now in her 80s. Right, when I told her, she first was I really didn't tell her. She had knew because of I had really only told my mom and my dad. Okay. And like, so based on that, the rest of my family found out because I was just posting, live my life. I didn't give a fuck who knew, right? So my grandmother, she told me personally, she said that, you know, she don't condone it, but she will always love me. And our relationship has never switched. So I think oftentimes we think that people's perception of us is going to be like, oh, they're gay, blah, blah, blah. But in reality, that's really not it. Now, it may take them a minute to warm up. And I said this earlier, that when we tell people this, we have to think we have been this one way our whole life. So now we're switching up on people. It's not that we're switching up, but we're living in our own truth. So we have to allow them time to comprehend and allow that. And if that means taking a step back and y'all both get your own peace and just, then that's what has to happen. But I think both parties have to accept it. But go ahead.
And I think that's where I'm at right now. Like, I just want to get into a space where I am, like, once I'm out on my own, which I am like actively working on now, I feel like then I can be comfortable more enough to like talk about it, or at least want to talk about it and just do it, because that way I can at least go home to my own space. I don't have to worry about, you know, like, they're going to say what they're going to say regardless. And obviously, like, I don't want her to stop like loving me or anything like that. And I don't feel like she would completely do that. I mean, obviously, I'm sure she'd be doing a lot of praying and everything like that because she doesn't condone it. But I know that there would be a part of her that still, like, you know, loves me, you know. So, but I don't know. I think that's just where I'm at. I'm working through it. So,
okay.
Thank you, speakers. Hartman.
Girl, be serious. But I mean, I guess I don't know. I hate.
But I know how he feels too, because you know what, like with like the Hungarian side of my family, like my dad's side of the family, they still ask me like, you know, when I'm getting married, or like, you know, and they all know I'm clearly gay. But like, you know what I'm talking about? But they just they still hold out that hope.
Yes. Yeah. So the one I get all the time is as I'm never going to have a grandson with your bloodline. That's what I get all the time, because I'm the last one with my last name in my entire family.
Yeah.